Good morning guys. We're out in session, as you can see. I did do a video a couple of weeks ago. Again, didn't really get a great deal of content, so I didn't bother putting that on YouTube. Just a day session. I did lose one in the pads. And that was about it really. I did have a bit of content on me putting the baits out, etc., but just didn't have enough there to put a video out. So I'm here at Weybread bottle pit with my dad. Turned up late-ish, I say late-ish last night. By the time I got my gear and that ready, I didn't kind of put a video out yesterday afternoon. I got here about sort of 6:30. By the time I put the BV out, just chucked the rods out. That was sort of getting dark, so I didn't bother putting a video out. So last night, just put one rod in the margin, just sort of slung one out with a parachute stringer on there. Yeah, nothing last night, unfortunately. Dad is in the bench swim, which I showed you in a previous video. I'll prepare a load of sort of pellet up later on with a bit of liquid in. I'm thinking about putting one on the spot I did in the winter. It's about 14 wraps, so I'll put some bait out tonight. Reason I didn't put any bait out last night really is because obviously with the weekend anglers on here, there's been a lot of bait being put in here. So you're always better off to kind of go sort of little and often, so to speak. So we'll leave that there for now. We'll get some content for you throughout this video. Hopefully we catch at least one between us. So last time we done this, when I left, Dad had one on the last morning, but we'll see how it goes. Not many people on, so hopeful for a fish. We'll catch you later. Right, afternoon. It's now 2:30. Obviously not a lot to update. Like we say on here, it's not exactly the easiest lake. I haven't even redone the rods, so we just left them where they were last night. The fish are doing the same old thing, just cruising around on the top. I will be tonight, like I say, I'm going to put the left-hand rod out. I was going to put it down my left-hand margin, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the left-hand rod out. There's that telegraph pole out in the distance there, as you can see. That one I'm going to put out there. It's about 14.5 wraps. We'll put that out there and we'll just spread a bit of boil over that one. And the right hand rod, this morning when I woke up, there was fish kind of, get my finger down there, sort of quite close in down there. There's a bit of fizzing going on there this morning, so I'll probably put that down there. Probably use the bait and spoon for that one, or maybe just a bit of spread of boilie with a bag on or something like that. Yeah, tied up a few more rigs this afternoon. So hopefully that will do the do. I'll probably do the rods at around sort of tea time-ish, get the bait out ready for the evening, cook some tea and whatever, and then probably watch a film with my dad. Yeah, and I'll probably try and film myself getting the rods out. It's a bit hard on here because obviously the banks are quite high up, and the banks are steep, so I haven't got a lot of room down there, as you can see. But we'll get some, hopefully we'll get some more action. I'll put some bait in the club pit behind me, so there's any sort of smaller carp in there, but I literally just put a handful of bait in there and they were swallowing up the mud and all sorts. So if times get desperate, we might get a few live takes and get a couple of fish out of there. I'll have to see. Well, we'll catch you later on when we're putting the baits out. Cheers. Right guys, well, I just reeled in both the rods. I have got one out in the other lake, just in the margin, just because it's windy over there. I'm going to be putting out 14.5 wraps casting out 14.5 wraps, and I need to use my catapult, so the wind will stop that from happening. I'll catapult some 18 millers out there, so I just thought just whilst the wind sort of calms down a bit on the other lake, I just thought I'd have a dabble in here for sort of 10-15 minutes, see what we get. I'm going to put some boilies down here earlier on some crushed boilies, and there was 2 or 3 carp spin on it straight away. So just so literally, as you can see, I'm just under the rod tip. We'll keep quiet, and if I get a take, I'll just quickly turn the camera on and see if I can catch it. See what we get. We're in. That didn't take very long. We'll get it on the mat, and then we'll so it won't be a very big one because there are only small fish in here. Just get this in and then I'll show you it. Well, we won't make a very big deal of this one because it was a, like I say, there's smaller fish in here, and this one was a little scamper, absolutely ripped off in the margin. There wasn't bigger ones feeding there, but there we go. We might do a couple more of these. Like I say, there's nothing, sort of, they just go double figures in that particular lake. But we'll get it back, and then we'll try and catch some better fish in the other lake. Catch you later. Good morning, it's Tuesday now. Again, unfortunately, nothing in the night, the odd blip here and there, and that was about it really. Been speaking to a lad called Archie who fishes the middle pit. He's done a bit on number 1, but he told me that his mate fishes on here and does well on corn. Now there's many times on this lake where I've used like fake corn when you struggle on boilies, and I've actually caught. So tonight my plan of action is probably going to be solid bags. I haven't got actually any free bait corn, but I do have some tigers, so I might put sort of fake corn over tigers maybe. Might even pop down the shop and get some corn. Obviously it's always nice to kind of hear what other people are catching. He said his mate always uses corn on here, fake corn in the margins, and catches. So I mean, many a times I say you catch the odd one on the boilie in here. Obviously they will eat the boilies. It's just that if they're very sort of finicky in here. They either want boilie, they want tiger, they want corn. So we'll give a fake corn a go a bit later on. I'll just show you the lake, and so it's looking good. There's no signs of fish this morning. There's been no fizzing or anything. There's the odd one on the surface as there usually is, but I'll have to take it from there. So we'll catch you later, guys. Right, sorry for I haven't sort of any midday updates or anything. Helped Dad move earlier on. He's now gone from the Brint swim to peg 40, I think it is. It's more towards obviously this corner. Sort of a forced move really. There's a load of young kids on here that shouldn't be on here anyway, casting straight across 3 swims. They're even sort of casting in front of me, so by look of it, I will just be fishing sort of close in tonight. But hey ho, quite a few people on tonight. I say there was a bit of wind on here. It's now going kind of flat calm, but it looks okay for it. One just was literally down there near Dad's rods and bow waved away. So yeah, just fish kind of margin spots. I've got one down to my left hand margin now, and I've also got one, well, I'll keep one sort of 3 wraps out, so it's just in the slightly deeper water. You can probably hear Dad cooking away. Let's turn around. Bank cuisine.
Bank cuisine. Nice bit of chicken doing, cooking here.
So Dad was lugging all his gear up here, and we I said, why don't we just load it up in the car? So we checked all the gear in the car, and that done less trips. And it took, rather than taking about 3 hours, that took 20 minutes. So that was quite good.
Yeah, I got fed up with them kids. They just steal my head in, so I had to move. Passing over my lines. I tell them off a few times. I just give up.
Yeah, I've shouted at him a few times as well, but there we are.
Just had to move. I mean, there's no swim there. They've got no margin spot. You know, we've got carp in the swim, so that's encouraging for tonight. Just how we get on. I haven't baited heavy.
No, I don't think we need to, really, do we?
Just bags. Yeah, bag out in there with a couple of wafters on. Scattered a few warnings around, but it's not too crazy. Just fishing for the night. We'll see what happens tonight. I think Jason's here till Thursday. I'm here till Sunday, so plenty of time. There's a few on here again tonight, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, we can only kind of hope. Like I say, there won't be many fish on here again, but then again, we didn't kind of expect at this lake. I think last video I done on here, we didn't catch anything, and then Dad caught one on the morning I wasn't, or the next morning that I wasn't here. I think the time before that, I don't think I filmed that one. I had a 20 odd pound ghost common, and that's about all I had out here. I just say it's, I don't know what it is. We keep questioning whether, you know, you can kind of go for all your rigs, you can go through kind of everything what you're doing wrong, and I think you think about it too much sometimes, but it is what it is. We're here. You can't catch them while you're sitting at home, as I've said before, and that's called fishing, not catching. So we'll leave it there for now, and then we'll I'll try and get I'll try and set up the camera while I think I'll leave the left hand rod because it's got bait on it anyway, but I'll just show you putting out my right hand rod, and we'll catch you later. And let Dad eat his tea. Catch you later. Well, good afternoon. It's now Wednesday afternoon now. Again, nothing in the night. One guy in peg 43, I think he had one yesterday afternoon. He did have one last night, just under 29. I think he had a 20 pounder this morning, so they're in the shallows. I had a look at it when I came in, but there was a person fishing in the rat hole, so obviously that would have boxed him in if I would have fished there. So I didn't sort of bother going in there at all, unfortunately. Quite a few people on still. I'm a bit boxed in, I say, because another guy's moved in where the younger kids were who were casting over me. They did come over, or he did come over yesterday and apologised to me for casting over my lines. And then the guy who came round, he sat on the bench, and I just told him that I was getting cast over, and he's doing exactly the same thing. So I'm kind of restricted. If I go 10 wraps out, I'm going to be over his line. So the bailiff's been made aware. Whether anything gets done or not is another thing, but hey ho. Yeah, I've done my left hand rod this morning. I put fake corn on there again, just in a solid PVA bag, but I actually got some sweet corn. So I'll put a bit of corn over there, a bit of pellet. Don't really know what to do kind of tonight. I'll probably redo the rods around sort of tea time-ish. I will be packing up in the morning, but what I'm planning on doing, again, I know I make these plans and tell you what I'm going to do, and then I never do it, but tomorrow I might pack my gear away, get all the bivvy in that way, get everything in the car, and I might just do a few hours in the match pit just to kind of make a bit of content for you guys, and perhaps a few fish. I say you only need a little bit of bait in there, a bit of, you know, PVA bags and a bit of crumb or whatever. I say there's going to be nothing massive in there. They're kind of singles mainly. There's the odd double in there. and see what we can get. I will try later on. Again, last night I didn't get enough time to show you putting the rods out. The trouble is the banks are high. If I just turn you around, don't think I can do it while I'm recording. No, I can't. I was going to say, you see the banks are steep, so for me to get the camera on there to get the rods out, it's going to be quite difficult, but I will do my best. So I'll leave it there for now. We'll catch you later. Perhaps we'll get Dad getting his rigs out later on if he's going to recast them. I know we've redone them this morning, so I don't know if he's redoing them, but fingers crossed. We've got the rest of this afternoon and tonight. So if we don't get anything in the evening, I'll probably pack up as early as possible, then I'll try and do a bit in the match pit. So I'll catch you later, and hopefully we'll have a fish. See you later.